Happy Friday. Thank you for joining me at 7 o'clock this morning for our morning mobility class. Let's go ahead and get started laying on our backs. So find a comfortable spot on the floor, maybe on your mat. We're going to start on our backs this morning. What I want us to do is drop the knees over. So let's have our arms up nice and straight. What I want us to do is drop those knees on over to the right and drop the left arm down to the side. Take a nice deep breath in here. Good, bringing the knees back up to center. Arms coming back up. Let's go ahead and drop the knees down to the left now. And drop that arm down to the right. Again, nice deep breath while we're here. Good, and we're just going to go back and forth just like that. So now I'm going back, dropping my knees both to the right. And I'm dropping the left arm nice and straight. So getting some movement first off in the spine this morning, getting all the nutrients and blood flowing. And let's go for one more each side. Again, everything we're doing this morning, just respecting where our bodies are. And last one. And bring it on back to center. All right, let's go ahead and roll on up. We're going to move on to our knees now, so if you need a pillow or any support for the knees, if they get a little cranky, go ahead and do that. We're going to start with our arm bars. So one arm at a time, reach up nice and tall all the way up towards the ceiling. So palm is facing us. When we get to this point, let's turn that palm away. Rotate, bring the arm all the way back down. So we're going to do the same thing but reverse. So now as I extend behind me, I'm going to rotate my palm around, up towards the ceiling, and back down. So we're going to go for 3 reps on each arm. Trying to actively pull our hands away from us. Nice and slow here. Trying to get a full range of motion in the shoulders this morning. Go ahead and switch arms now. So take that left arm or whatever arm you haven't already done. Reach up, palm facing us. We're going to rotate that palm away. You might notice a little bit of a difference from each arm. And that is okay. And let's go for one more. I don't want this to be painful in any way, so if it is painful, maybe come a little bit further away from the head. See if that helps a little bit. Work your way up. All right, let's move on up to a more of a high knee position. We're going to bring those hands behind us. Squeeze those shoulders down, so we're opening up the chest. We're going to do some neck circles. So drawing a big circle up the head, going one direction right now. Staying within a range that feels good this morning. We don't want to overstretch, but we just want to get some movement in there. Let's go ahead and switch directions now. One more big circle, nice and slow all the way around. All right. So staying in this position, we're going to go through a series of letters. So get those arms out in front, squeeze the arms out, reach up towards the ceiling into a Y. Good, let's come back down to our W. And we're going to rotate it a nice slight side bend here. So we're going to go through this again. So we're going to go for our W, squeeze up into our Y, squeeze back down, and we're going to go the opposite way. So squeeze, lift, squeeze, and a nice deep breath in and out. Taking our time with this one. Getting a nice stretch here on the side, opening up the low back, getting a stretch in the lats. Reach towards the wall. And let's go one more, nice and slow. All right, we're going to bring it on down now to some thoracic rotation, so upper back mobility. So slightly spread knees, dropping on down to the elbows here. If you're comfortable, I want you to reach up towards the ceiling here and bring it back down. And we're going to rotate, so it's switching sides, just looking up at the ceiling, pivoting from the elbow, using that as our stability point. So once we do one more on each side, we're going to thread the needle through. So instead of reaching up towards the ceiling, we're now going to take this arm and we're going to try to drop it through and sit back into our heels. So the purpose of this is really trying to open up the low back and get some rotation in the spine. Good, bring it on back. Let's switch sides now. So reach up. We're going to sit back into our heels, drop that shoulder down to the mat. Good, bring it on up. Let's go again, other side, reach up nice and big, and then sit back and drop that shoulder. Nice deep breath here. Bring one more here on this other side. So reach up, nice and big, looking up at the ceiling. Then we're sitting back and dropping through. All right, awesome. So we're going to work on a little bit of wrist and shoulder mobility stuff. So staying on our hands and knees, I want you to take your palm, so back of the hand, place it on your mat. We're going to make a fist and put it into that hand. And we're just going to gently rotate that at the shoulder and the wrist. So just a small movement here. Just small little rotations here at the shoulder. Go ahead and switch. So now I'm going to take the hand that was in a fist. I'm going to flip it on over, place it on the mat. I'm making a fist with the arm I just stretched, placing it into the palm. And I'm doing little rotations here. All right, so now that we've done that, we're going to move into some elbow circles, still on our hands and knees. So try to draw some circles with the elbows. It might feel a little weird, but I want you to keep them nice and straight. Drop the elbows out, scoop up to our beginning position. So let's try to get the shoulders involved here. Feel free to rock a little bit with the body, whatever feels right here. And let's switch directions of those elbow circles now. Let's do a few more here. All right, so we're going to move on to the hips now. We're going to do some pelvic tilts and pelvic circles. So what I want you to do is like a baby cat-cow. So you're going to tuck the tailbone under here. You're going to arch the lower back. So we're just going to go back and forth here. So tuck the tailbone under and arch the low back. So my upper back is staying still. It's just the lower back that's moving right now. It's very important to get some movement here. Always a good thing to practice. So now let's try to move it into small little circles to the right. Nice and controlled. And let's switch directions here. So now we're doing pelvic circles to the left. Let's go for 3 more. All right. So we're going to move it on down to the floor, doing our pigeon pose. So taking right leg. Let's get it right out in front of us at a 90-degree bend if we can. The other leg is going to be straight out behind us. So let's hang out here for just a moment, see how it's feeling. Option to stay here. If you want to increase, stretch a little bit more, drop it on down to the elbows. And then we're going to press up. So we're going to drop down to the elbows. We're going to go back and forth from elbows to a little bit of a press up. And we're just going to spend a little bit of time here on this side, and then we'll switch and do the same thing on the other. So one more here, or just hang out for one more breath. And we're going to switch legs now, so same thing on the other leg. So now we're going to try to extend that leg behind us. Get the left leg at a 90-degree angle. Again, option to stay right here. Or drop it on down to the elbows. And go into our little press-ups here. Let's go for one more here. All right. Let's bring that rear leg up. Meet that front leg. So we're at a 90. We're doing our hip 90-90s right here. We're just hanging out for a moment. So notice how my front foot is placed on my quad here. Go ahead and switch and do the same thing on the other side. And let's go back. So I want to increase this stretch right here, make it a little bit more of a stretch. We're going to take this rear leg, bring it up, and place it right here, anchored by that front leg. Then we're going to take our left arm and anchor it behind the knee and slightly rotate away. Okay, let's come on out of that stretch. So bringing that leg right back here. We are going to switch. So option to have hands behind if you need support. So we're doing the same thing on this side. Get that foot nice and flat on the quad. We're in our 90-90. We're going to take this rear leg. Go ahead and bring it around. Anchor it in front of that knee. So now my left arm is supporting me, my right arm is coming and rotating. Good, come on out of there. We're going to do this one more time on each side. You might have the hang of it a little bit more now. Let's try to switch over without the hands. Good. So now we're going to take that rear leg, bring it out and in front here. And placing that elbow behind the knee and rotating away. Good. Drop that leg back. Switching over one last time here. We're taking the rear leg, bringing it out in front. Anchoring the elbow behind the knee and rotating. Good. Bring it on down to our butterfly stretch. Just let the knees drop wide open. Just relax. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Close the eyes maybe. Let's do one more. All right. That is all the time that we have this morning for our morning